Stop. Only 3% of you are subscribed. If you believe money shouldn't buy justice, if you want to see an arrogant CEO learn the hardest lesson of his life, hit subscribe right now. A 54-year-old man stands before Judge Caprio. Multiple traffic violations, reckless driving, refusing to stop for police. Richard Harrington, CEO of Harrington Financial Group. Net worth over $400 million. Judge Caprio looks at the charges. Mr. Harrington, you're cited for speeding, reckless driving, failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, and evading a police officer. Richard adjusts his cufflinks casually. Your Honor, I wasn't evading anyone. I simply didn't see the police car. You didn't see the flashing lights and sirens for 2 miles? I was on a business call. Very important deal. Couldn't be interrupted. Comment where you're watching from right now, because what this CEO tries to do next will make your blood boil. Subscribe. You need to see this. Monday, 11:15 a.m., Providence Municipal Court. Richard approaches the podium like he's walking into a board meeting. Custom-tailored suit, Rolex worth more than most people's cars. Behind him, 2 attorneys from prestigious Boston law firms. Judge Caprio reviews the police report. Mr. Harrington, on November 12th, you were driving your Porsche at speeds exceeding 110 miles per hour. The speed limit is 65. Richard waves his hand dismissively. Your Honor, I have a fast car. It's designed to go fast. Sometimes the speed creeps up. 110 is not creeping. That's reckless. Richard sighs like this is boring him. Look, I was going too fast. I'll pay whatever fine. Can we wrap this up? I have a meeting at 2. Judge Caprio doesn't react. He continues. When the state trooper activated his lights, you continued driving for 2 miles before pulling over. Explain. I was on an important call. So you saw the police car but chose to finish your call first? The call was worth $8 million, Your Honor. I couldn't just hang up. The courtroom murmurs. Judge Caprio sets down the report. So you decided $8 million was more important than obeying the law. It's simple math. It's not math. It's the law. Richard looks at his watch. In court. Your Honor, with respect, I'm a busy man. I employ over 2,000 people. Can we skip to the fine? Whatever it is, I'll pay. Double it if you want. Judge Caprio removes his glasses slowly. Did you just offer to double the fine to speed this up? I offered to make this worth your time. I know how underfunded courts are. Consider it a donation. Are you attempting to bribe this court? Richard's attorneys both stand. Your Honor, my client misspoke. Sit down. I asked Mr. Harrington. Richard's ego won't let him back down. I wasn't bribing anyone. I was being efficient. Businessmen do it all the time. In a courtroom, it's called contempt. I'm being practical. I make more in 1 hour than most people make in a month. Every minute here costs my company thousands. Hit like if you cannot believe this guy. Judge Caprio is about to teach him a lesson. Judge Caprio stands and walks around the bench. Mr. Harrington, this courtroom doesn't care how much money you make. It doesn't care about your Porsche or your Rolex. In here, you're the same as everyone else. With respect, I'm not the same as everyone else. I contribute more to society in 1 year than most people do in their entire lives. When you were doing 110, do you know who else was on that road? A family coming home from dinner. A nurse driving to her shift. Regular people whose lives you endangered. I was in complete control. At 110, if anything went wrong, you would have killed yourself or someone else. But nothing went wrong. This time, Richard's patience snaps.
Your Honor, can we get to the penalty? Fine me 10,000, 20,000, I don't care. You don't care. And that's the problem. Fines are supposed to be deterrents. But for you, a fine is just a transaction. So increase it. Make it proportional. Money isn't the lesson you need. Richard's smirk fades. What does that mean? Judge Caprio returns to his bench. 3 years ago, a young woman appeared here, 24 years old, rear-ended at a stoplight by someone doing 60 in a 45 zone. Your Honor, the impact shattered 3 vertebrae. She's paralyzed from the waist down. 24 years old, never walk again. And the driver said he was late for a meeting. His time was valuable. Sound familiar? Richard says nothing. That's tragic, but I didn't hurt anyone. Yet. Every time you drive over 100 because your call is important, you risk creating that same tragedy. Richard shifts uncomfortably. I hear you. I'll be more careful. You said that after your last ticket, and the one before. One attorney stands. Your Honor, we're prepared to make a substantial donation to the Traffic Safety Fund. Perhaps $100,000? Judge Caprio laughs coldly. Counselor, you just tried to do exactly what you said your client wasn't doing. You're trying to buy your way out. In my courtroom. To my face. The attorney sits quickly. Judge Caprio's voice hardens. Here is my ruling. For speeding, $1,000. Reckless driving, $1,500. Failure to yield, $500. Evading police, $2,000. Richard nods. $5,000 total. Nothing to him. For attempted bribery, contempt of court. Additional $2,500. That's ridiculous! You offered to double your fine to speed things up. That's contempt. Richard is getting angry. This is outrageous. Do you know who I am? You're a man who thinks wealth makes him special, who thinks rules apply to other people. Not today. Not here. I'll have your job for this. No, you won't. I don't answer to money. I answer to the law. Subscribe if you believe no one is above the law. Judge Caprio is about to drop the hammer. Total fines, $7,500. Additionally, your license is suspended for 60 days. Richard freezes. Suspended? You can't do that. 60 days, effective immediately. How am I supposed to get to work? Public transportation? A hired driver? Figure it out. This is insane. Furthermore, 40 hours community service at Rhode Island Hospital's trauma unit. You'll meet people injured in car accidents. See what reckless driving does. I run a $400 million company. I don't have time for... You'll make time. Fail to complete it in 90 days, I'll issue a warrant. 30 days in county jail. And jail doesn't care how much money you have. Richard is shaking with rage. This is persecution. This is consequences. Something you've never experienced. Long pause. Richard stands there breathing hard. Something shifts in his face. I've been driving like this for years. Always got away with it. Paid fines, moved on. Never thought about what could happen. And now? That story. The 24-year-old. That's real? Her name is Amanda. She's 27 now. Maybe you'll meet her during your service. Richard's arrogance cracks. I have a daughter. She's 23. If someone did that to her... Now you're starting to understand. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about other people, just myself, my schedule, my money. That's the most honest thing you've said. 3 weeks later, Richard shows up at Rhode Island Hospital. No Rolex, no custom suit. First patient, Marcus, 41, lost his left leg to a speeding driver. Guy was doing 60 and a 30, said he was late for a meeting. Richard doesn't know what to say. Second patient, Amanda, 27, wheelchair. The same Amanda. I was going to be a dancer, had a scholarship. Then someone decided their meeting was more important than the speed limit. Richard starts crying. I've done the same things. Never thought about what could happen. Will you think about it now? Yes. Richard completes all 40 hours, signs up for 20 more, writes Amanda's foundation a $50,000 check. Not to escape, to help. 60 days later, license restored. Gets in his Porsche. Drives 65, not 1 mile over. The video goes viral. 3.4 million views. Top comment. He walked in thinking he could buy his way out. He walked out realizing some lessons cost more than money. Here's my question. Was Judge Caprio too hard on him? Or exactly right? Comment your honest opinion. If this inspired you, share it. Like if you believe accountability matters more than bank accounts. Subscribe for more Judge Caprio moments where justice doesn't care how much money you have. Remember, you can buy expensive lawyers, fast cars, almost anything, but you cannot buy your way out of accountability. Thanks for watching. See you next time.